Oh, this is. I'm just. This has to happen. Let's go over my last year's predictions. Last year we did like likelihood ratings with the colors, right? So all of these were like green was I think the most likely, and then red was the least likely. Let's go through them one by one. So which ones did I get? Elbaf World Tree, 100% I got. That one we got. Devil Fruit Fully Explained. I don't even know what I meant by that. Bonnie equals Law. Not really. Not really at all. I didn't get this one. Bonnie is a much different like role than I thought she'd be. Loki reveal I did get. Final Road Poneglyph location, no we did not get. Devon and or Lafitte at Egghead, I did get, absolutely. Will of Delor, I did not. Return to Wano, I did, but in the funniest way possible. we got a Wano cover story. Moria Returns, we did not. Saturn Punch, absolutely. New One Piece movie, I mean that's free, but I got it. Eye Patch, someone loses an eye on Elbaf. Not yet. Not yet, but I might get this one. I'm still holding out hope. Still holding out hope. Egghead Ends. We got that. Saul D. Goodman and Robin reunite. We got that. Doflamingo reads the paper. Dofi is back. Dofi Seraphim shenanigans. I think I put all of these in one, but I was just referring to Doflamingo shenanigans. He was reading the paper. We did get a shot of him reading the paper. Now, admittedly, I thought there would be more of Doflamingo reading the paper. But he did read the paper. He did. And so it counts. So it counts. You get this one. Smoker and Tashigi are back. No. We got a single art of Smoker with a weird chest. That's it. That is all we got. Smoker is hauling. Yep, that's the only thing we got of Smoker. Mihawk, Nika Church, and Zunisha connection. This one's still coming, don't worry about it. Vivi sails with the Straw Hats? Nope. Mysterious Ex-Warlord? Nope. Ancient Kingdom lore? I mean, we did get a bunch of stuff like with Lily and stuff, right? That was this year. Do we count this? The robot? Yeah. Yeah. We'll count it. We'll count it. Dragon has no bounty. We still haven't seen anything about this. However, I am very confident that this is going to be like in the same way that Loki has a weird bounty on him. But that didn't happen. Rocks is not actually bad. Haven't seen any of that. A lot of these that didn't happen seem like it can happen this year. We'll talk about it. Roger's Weird Egg Explained Electric Boogaloo. That didn't happen. Also, I didn't really... I don't think you can see this. I was talking about Blackbeard fighting Kizaru and Kizaru taking an L because I thought it would be very funny if it's like a battle of light and darkness and then Kizaru is like swirled down a drain like a black hole. I thought it would be very funny. It didn't happen. And Blackbeard third Devil Fruit with Moria did not happen. No bingo this year. Not even close. But we got a few. We got a few. 2025. Koroto's Weird and Wacky Bingo. This time, extra wacky. No repeats from 2024 this time edition. But I also lie. So, with that said, let us start uncovering the bingo squares. Which ones are we uncovering first? There's going to be a lot of suspense in this. A lot of suspense. A lot of these predictions I made when I was going to bed. So this is like... Oh, by the way, bonus. Nami Weatherbridge shenanigans. What I mean by Nami Weatherbridge shenanigans, I think she's going to do like... I think basically we're going to be doing the Rainbow Road thingies. And I think obviously that's going to be with Nami. With the weather stuff. It doesn't include any live action or new anime stuff. No, I don't think so. This is mostly about the manga. Yeah. I think the only thing I didn't include is like wit trailer right here, and I think I also included something about season 2, but this is like purely manga, yeah. Bottom left. Okay. Emu summon soul transfer power. Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. For this, gotta go into here. So, I've been thinking about Rat D. Shanks appearing on top of Elbaf. I've been thinking about that. I have a theory. For the longest time, I thought this weird interaction between Emu and the Five Elders was a weird Devil Fruit interaction. However, I always considered that the teleportation power and that the whole Five Elders thing The fact that like they were numbered and stuff, like the summoning circles, right? Like right up here. I thought all of this might just be Emu's power and that's it. However, we now have Rat D. Shanks, who has been summoned. So I've been thinking about how that might work. And I have come to this weird conclusion that maybe the key to this power is actually transferring the soul of the person. And that's how they're basically teleporting around. That is my current conspiracy theory. The reason why I think it has legs is once again because of Brook. Brook's Devil Fruit not being able to find his soul from the underworld and only then bringing him back to life even when he was a skeleton, that is my current conspiracy theory. I think Emu might have a power that can transfer souls across the world. I don't know the ins and outs of it. Like, one of these circles just appeared, but now do they have to be drawn or something? I don't know. My current conspiracy is that Emu's Devil Fruit is something to do with transferring the very souls of people and Devil Fruit users. Let's do bottom right. Remember what I said about also I lie? I do lie. I do lie. This is a repeat. I'm not going to elaborate on this. I think Blackbeard using Black Hole, Shadows Asgard would be the single most OP Devil Fruit interaction in all of One Piece. That's all I'll say. I just think Oda would want to use something like that, and the fact that he already captured Moria once, and now there is a Devil Fruit that... not Devil Fruit, but now there is a Seraphim that has replicated Devil Fruits. I think there will absolutely be a weird Moria and Blackbeard interaction. Absolutely. I have nothing to prove it with, but I think it's gonna happen. Moving on. Okay. This is a good one. Operation Marie Joie. I don't know if I misspelled Marie Joie. I might have done. Who cares? Okay. Let's talk about Blackbeard's crew stealing the form of Saturn. For a long time, I was thinking about what does this mean? What does this mean? Why would Blackbeard currently steal Saturn's power, right? Or form? Initially, my theory was that all the Seraphim would become a sleeper agent army for Blackbeard, which I still think is the case. Blackbeard, well, not Black, I'm gonna keep saying Blackbeard, but just, you know what I'm talking about. Blackbeard currently can basically 180 with all the Seraphims whenever he wants, supposedly, if they can completely copy the form of Saturn, right? That's number one. But number two, like we saw with Egghead, it's not just Blackbeard that is making big moves, and it is also, like we saw back in Dressrosa, it was also just Jesus going to Dressrosa, right? And the more I think about it, the more I think Blackbeard might not be involved in the whole Marie Joie thing, but I think Blackbeard's crew might be involved in some sort of infiltration mission, infiltration mission to Marie Joie. That's what I'm thinking right now, and that's why I think they stole this form. I don't think there's going to be like a weird battle atop Marie Joie, because I think that's a revolutionary thing, but I do think that Blackbeard will take advantage of it, as he always does. Maybe he might even get to the bottom levels of the Marie Joie storage with the straw hat. Maybe. But I do think Blackbeard will be doing something in Marie Joie. And again, I don't mean Blackbeard, I mean Devon. Operation Marie Joie. Top right. Shanks' twin equals man marked by flame. Okay. The only thing I need to say here is that it kind of fits with Shanks' scar. That's it. I think it would be cool, and we still haven't seen the other side of like the twin Shanks' face. I think the twin Shanks might have the dragon marking, like the tattoo the dragon has, right? And the reason why I think it could be Shanks' twin is for a multitude of reasons. When we heard about the man marked by flames for Blackbeard's crew, they were talking about how he's probably affiliated with the world government. I thought that is a weird comment. That is a very weird comment. You can go back to my main channel Egghead video, and I mentioned it there, right? It's like a weird thing to throw out that must have to do with something, but I personally thought that it might be referring to Dragon because he is not a pirate, and he's not doing anything to do with pirates, and you could assume that he's affiliated with the world government in a weird way, right? even though he's obviously directly opposed. Now, we have someone that fits the bill 100%. Man marked by flame could be his red hair. It could be a thing on his face. It would also explain why we have never seen him do anything. It would also explain why he is sailing around with seemingly no objective, because his only objective is to keep people from reaching Laugh Tale. And it would explain also why basically Shanks is teleporting around. There is a twin that is also teleporting around and doing weird things to keep certain forces from getting to certain places. That's my conspiracy theory. I think the person sailing around and causing whirlpools is the Shanks twin. And he is also the man marked by flames, entrusted with the final poneglyph to make sure that no one can complete the 4. And wouldn't it be funny? Are you ready for fanfiction? If we got a scene of Shanks meeting twin Shanks, the twin Shanks pulls out a sword, looks at the camera, and says, "I'm sorry it had to end this way, brother." And then Shanks pulls out a sword and says, "No, you're not." And then they start blasting, taking a little bit of inspiration from a certain final duel between siblings. But maybe Lafitte could be there to pick up as many people as possible, taking them to Beehive instead of having them join the revolutionaries. That is a pretty good shout. Yes, that is a pretty good idea. I think there's a decent chance of that happening, because we've already seen the revolutionaries basically mapping out Marie-Joie, right? Something very similar happening with Blackbeard, and this time with the literal form of Saturn. That'd be very convenient. Joy Boy is the eye patch pirate. I have nothing to prove this with, except for the fact that Oda said that when we see an eye patch, it's going to signal the end of One Piece. I don't think we're going to see a situation where Luffy pokes his eye out in Elbaf. I just don't see that happening. It's a bit too graphic for One Piece, even though I would love for that to happen. I think it would be so cool with the Will of Mimir story. I don't think it's going to happen. I think Joy Boy is going to be the first pirate, and he's also going to be the first dude with an eye patch. And I think we're going to see a Joy Boy flashback. That's why I think Joy Boy is going to have an eye patch. That's it. That's my entire thesis statement here. Let's do Ragnarok. I think there's another thing on here. I'll spoil it. There is another square on here. I'll talk about it separately as well. I think Elbaf is going to be a convergence of many forces in the world. One of which is already the world government, which has already landed on the island. I think the revolutionaries will also make their debut here. And obviously Luffy and Loki will also be involved. I think Elbaf is going to be a massive deal. And I think it's going to signal Ragnarok. But yeah, I do think like whatever we're going to see on Elbaf, it's going to be like big bad. There's going to be real bad things are going to happen. I think we're also probably going to see a pretty major death. That's the vibe I'm getting. Elbaf seems much more dangerous than a lot of arcs previously. Like when I think the elders all arrived on Egghead, that's when it really struck home that this is truly the final saga. And everything I was like, oh, it's gonna happen in 500 chapters. That's when it sunk in for me that no, like it literally could happen right now. And I think that's sort of what I'm thinking about going into Elbaf. I think Elbaf is going to be a huge arc with many things going on. Usopp death? I don't think Usopp's gonna die, personally. I don't think so. I know a lot of people have like ideas for why he might. I don't see One Piece going that route. I genuinely don't. And I have like nothing to back this up with, by the way. Like you could easily give me an essay where it's like the thesis statement is Usopp dies. And I would be like, yes. And in the end, I would say, I don't think he's gonna die. I just don't think Oda will ever kill one of the Straw Hats. I just don't think so. If anyone's bound to die, like I think it would have to be Zoro or Sanji. And even then, I don't think it's gonna happen. Should have been shut. Shut up! Moving on. What are we going to next? Should have been Chopper. Why would you even say that? Above free? Okay. Let's do above free. VV reunion. This is another thing that I basically carried over from last year. I think basically the X on the arm is leading us into a reunion. I don't know how or when that's going to happen. Like, I was almost tempted to say that it would happen right as we saw the tattoo thing. Mostly because, like, it would be very convenient that the crew was split up in two sides where one of them knew Vivi, the other didn't, right? And introducing Vivi through, like, these two sides would have made a lot of sense. It didn't happen. It did not happen. But I think it's gonna happen this year. Like, I can see them splitting up again, but I don't think it's going to be, like, a situation where we don't even meet. I do think we will cross paths this year. Do you think Vivi will be part of the crew for Laugh Tale? I do think there is a good chance that, like, Luffy's journey to Laugh Tale involves basically everyone that he is close friends with. And by close friends with, I mean, like, actual allies that have sailed with us. So, I think Vivi would absolutely be one of them. I think Momo and Yamato would be two more. What else? Who else is, like, Law could be another one, I guess. But Law is kind of like a friend, not really like a direct ally that Luffy has basically invited on the crew. Johnny and Yosuke. I do think there's a good chance that, like, we sail into Laugh Tale as basically, like, Kumbaya, just a victory lap. But then again, I don't know if Laugh Tale is where the story ends. I don't. Laugh Tale could very well be the thing we focus on, but there's still stuff we need to wrap up. Who knows? Okay, next square. What is the next square? I think this is a good one. Let's do this one. Ancient weapon used. This goes hand in hand with Ragnarok. I think this is when things will get very, very spicy. I think we're gonna be seeing some blasting. I don't know exactly how that would work or what would be blasted, but it's just a vibe I'm getting. I think in the final stages of Elbaf, we might see something smited out of existence, and we might hear something about weird things happening with the weather again. It's going to be like the typical thing of like weird winds blew, the water started rising, something weird happened, something like that. Don't want anyone there except Straw Hats and Vivi. I'd be fine with that too. I'd be fine with that too. I just think, like, Luffy basically extended an actual invitation to, because Vivi, in my book, Vivi is 100% a Straw Hat. Like, 100%. 100%. But Luffy did extend, like, a actual invite to Momo and Yamato too. So those two, I feel like, are also kind of a lock. But who knows? Like, Vivi, I think absolutely. Okay. Let's move on. Usopp, hero of Elbaf. So this is something we've already begun to see glimpses of. Elbaf has been moving away from sort of like hard military might to more soft power. Like we heard with King Harold that he was like moving towards trade and stuff, right? I think Elbaf is going to be the arc where Usopp genuinely gets the title of hero of Elbaf. I think the kids of Elbaf will look up to him. I think there'll be books written about him. I think Usopp will become an actual living legend on Elbaf. I don't think he's gonna die. I don't. But I do think this is where Usopp is going to get his time to shine. I don't remember if I put it on here or not. I think we might also see Mjolnir, and we might even see Usopp wield Mjolnir. Hopefully. Usopp's last chance. Yeah. Usopp hasn't really been doing a lot, has he? I think Wano was kind of like the big reason why we didn't really see like a lot of highlights from a lot of the Straw Hats, you know. I hope Elbaf does remedy that somewhat. Because it's also like true to an extent with Egghead, right? Like in Egghead, we didn't really get like super standout moments for any of the characters. It was just like Kuma and all that story. We haven't really, we haven't had like even Dressrosa had like Usopp become a god, right? We haven't had like those big standout moments for quite a while. There were obviously some in Wano, but we need more. We need more. And Jinbei is still kind of like Jinbei still feels like a new Straw Hat to me. Okay, moving on. Let's do this one. Oh, this is I'm just this has to happen. Look. If you look at, by the way, people said I was wrong. I said Kuma was a pacifist the moment I saw him. People roasted me. They roasted me. And I was right. I was right literally the moment I saw Kuma. I was right. Everyone else just found out about it like a decade later. Everyone else was wrong. Not me. So saying that, If you look at Kuma, he was carrying a Bible. We have never seen anything like this in the entire story of One Piece. Then we get to Kuma's flashback, and he's talking about Nika, the Liberator. Then we find out his entire church is based around Nika. So this entire thing is Nika. And so we have this bit of red string going to Nika. Right there, right? But then we look to Mihawk, and he has a cross. Why does he have a cross? He is the only character in this entire story who has been wearing a cross the entire time. And if you look at his sword, it's literally the same symbol as Kuma's church, like the cross. They look identical. There is a connection there. And I will preach this until the end of days. And also his eyes are like the circly eyes. He has eyes. I am not insane. I'm not. Moving on. Let's do this one. Dofi Impel Down. I think we're going to see... This is not like Doflamingo in Impel Down. I think we're going to see some kind of infiltration of Impel Down again. I'm kind of hesitant. Like, I know the popular theory is that it's going to be the Cross Guild, right? The only thing that makes me hesitate on saying yes is we've already seen that. We've already seen Buggy breaking out of Impel Down. So, Buggy attacking Impel Down, it feels like retreading something very similar, if that makes sense. And I don't know if Oda wants to do that. So, maybe? But, like, Doflamingo is a gun on a wall. Absolutely, I think he's gonna break free. Absolutely. I don't know what he's going to do, but I think there's a very good chance that Doflamingo is freed this year. What I would give to see Senor Pink break out of Impel Down with Doflamingo. Like, I do think Impel Down will be important. I just don't think it's going to be like an actual thing that we focus on for a prolonged period of time. Just because of how Oda usually tells these stories. Also, Bon Clay, yes. I just want to see Bon Clay. I'm gonna be real. Okay, moving on. Dragon on Elbaf. I already talked about this. I think Dragon will appear because, like, the Revolutionaries obviously have a ton of history with Elbaf and, like, the history of the world, right? And I think that's going to be, like, a big deal with fake Shanks and the world government attacking Elbaf. Alright, moving on. Okay, new hockey. I mean this is a classic Koroto double meaning. What I mean by new hockey is two things. Number one, I think more people on the crew might use hockey. That's it. That I don't care about. I think there is a decent chance that someone like Usopp gets like a hockey buff. I think there's a decent chance Chopper might get a weird hockey buff because of like the weird Elbaf tech medicine stuff. Something like that, right? That's not important to me. I don't care. What I more so mean by this is the more I think about it, and these are sort of like, let me go into this again. I think these two are actually mutually exclusive. So I do think there is a small chance that what Emu is doing is actually doing some sort of very weird hockey thingy. Because the summoning things are popping off with lightning, right? And if you look into weird Norse lore, it's always lightning. Attack on Titan, it's always lightning. The biggest through line in most of this Norse lore stuff is always lightning. So I do think there is a decent chance that what we're seeing with the summoning circles and with the whole weird Emu shenanigans, it's just a bizarre form of ancient hockey, right? That was like another thing that was mentioned with the rope, right? A tiny small knot of rope did that. It was like literally a hockey nuke, you know? So extending that idea, I do think there is a chance that we begin to see entirely different kinds of hockey. Putting it out there. Putting it out there as an idea. Moving on. Anaru. Stop it. Stop it. He's not coming back. He's on the moon. Okay. Dragon has no bounty. Just wanted dead or maybe alive. I don't know. I think this is a carry-on from last year. I think he's going to have a special bounty with no details. I think it might just be just dead. Like, just wanted dead, and the reward is whatever you wish, becoming a celestial dragon, become royalty, you'll be given a kingdom, you'll be given place in Marie Joie. I think Dragon's bounty will not be a number. I think Dragon's Bounty will be something else entirely. And the reason why I think that is because he is ideologically opposed to the world government, unlike Roger, who was just, like, Roger knew a bunch of stuff, but he never did anything. He never tried challenging Marie Joie in any meaningful way. Dragon's entire existence is, we're gonna blow it up. So I do think Dragon's Bounty is gonna be, it's not just gonna be a number. It's gonna be something more. In the same way that we saw with Sanji's thingy, right? Where it was like just wanted alive. Dragon Bounty World will be a date with Emo. Yes, absolutely. Okay, moving on. Loki has Nika fruit. Okay. Let me explain. What do you think of the idea that we saw Luffy awaken his devil fruit form, and he entered Gear 5, and it made no sense? And many characters before have also said that that's not how rubber is supposed to work, and like Luffy is absurd, right? And then renaming the devil fruit to actually be a mythical zone solved that problem, because it wasn't a gum fruit. It was something else entirely. And if you watch the YouTuber named Koroto's Mystery Shack, you will know very well that I always thought the change was unnecessary. I thought it devalues Luffy's achievements, even though, yes, I know it changes nothing. It is purely a vibe-based thing for me. And so I thought, what if this entire thing has indeed been a misunderstanding? And the reason why Loki has a special bounty is because he was suspected of having the gum fruit, while in reality, he has the actual legendary Nika fruit. And Luffy is the one who still has just the gum fruit. And he is the one who truly made it special, to truly prove that there is no such thing as the Nika fruit. Luffy, with his weird-ass gum fruit that is useless, was the Liberator Nika. Just like Kuma was the Liberator Nika. That is my entire thesis statement. The only backup I have to this is that I think it would infinitely strengthen the entire Nika vibe. Because I find it incredibly weird that a lot of One Piece fans are like, there is only one Nika and it's Luffy. I think it's insane. And I also think it's kind of insane that a lot of people say that Nika saved Kuma. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. He never arrived. Kuma lived a lifetime of misery. It was horrible. The only thing that brought him joy was Bonnie. There was no Nika. Nika was hope, and that's it. There was no Liberator Nika. Luffy is the Liberator who came along and started doing things. And he's not a god. He's a wacky gum being. So what if he is indeed just a wacky gum being? I really don't like this line of thinking that Nika came to save Kuma or something. What about the hundreds and thousands of other kids who wanted a Liberator and he never arrived? What a bad Liberator. Imagine wishing your entire life for the Liberator Nika, even starting a church for Nika, and your parents were shot in the face. What a bad Liberator. What do you mean? No. Kuma is Nika. Luffy is Nika. Bonnie is Nika. All of these characters can be Nika. And in my mind, that is the message of One Piece. Not this weird Nika fruit. Okay? Okay? That's it. That's my pitch. If this... By the way, I want to let you know. I want to let you know that if this comes true, you will literally never hear the end of it. I will actually make like 5 videos for the main channel where I demand an apology. The Wano Act 3 video is still the most disliked video on my channel. Just because I said I don't like the Nika fruit. If this comes true, oh my god. People help people, not some god? Absolutely. Absolutely. I think the message of believing in Nika and hoping for a Liberator, that's totally cool. But in the end, the people who helped people was Kuma. He was the hands of liberation. That was Kuma, not Nika. And the person who saved like Nami, the person who saved Robin, all of these people, that was not Nika, that was Luffy. I find it very weird. Anyway, moving on. Mjolnir. I think Loki has it. I think Loki stole Mjolnir. I think that's why it's on his back. And if you know the story about Mjolnir being stolen by Loki, we might see a certain man in a dress and in a wedding. There is a story about that. One of my favorites, actually. So Mjolnir is basically confirmed, I think. Moving on. Mjolnir will be a hammer which ate a devil fruit. I really hope so. I really, really hope so. I hope Mjolnir is like a weird weapon that has been infused with the devil fruit. Mostly because we haven't seen a devil fruit weapon since what? The last one we saw was Enni's lobby, right? Like, there was the sword. And before that, it was Alabasta. I think so. It's been years since we've seen anything with a devil fruit weapon. Devil fruit teapot? I don't remember. Like, I just can't keep thinking about this one. If they, like, I don't think the One Piece community is prepared for if this comes true. I don't think it will. I don't think it will. But man, it would be beautiful. Okay, moving on. Yggdrasil is used as an upgrade for the Sunny. I've talked about this before. I think it only makes... And Frankie has already expressed interest in it. And, what's his face? Jinbei has also expressed interest in seeing the tree. So, I do think that Yggdrasil will be used as the final upgrade for the Sunny, in the same way that we went from the Going Merry to the Sunny in time skip, basically. We did sail around with the Sunny even before the time skip, but really, Sunny is sort of the post-time skip ship. Not much else to say there. I don't know what the upgrade's gonna look like, but I just think I think we're probably gonna be seeing something. And keep in mind that Frankie has also spent like years in Vegapunk's lab, right, during the time skip. So Frankie will use Yggdrasil to make Sunny to Pluton. He does have the plans. I mean, he did. I assume he memorized them. Maybe. Okay. Shanks fight. I think there is a non-zero chance, and I've got no idea how this would even work, that we genuinely see a Shanks twin fight. I memed about the whole, like, it's gonna be Zuko and Azula, with the whole, I'm sorry it had to end this way, brother, no you're not. But I do think there is a non-zero chance that we actually see Shanks fight his own brother. I'm just thinking about, like, where else would Oda finally have the opportunity to flex Shanks' power? And I can't imagine anywhere else where that would happen. I just can't. Because I feel like he is keeping Shanks in basically the stratosphere of OP people. And what he did against Kid, I feel like was a tiny taste of what his power actually is. Right? And who else could you even put him against? So, I don't know. Oda will flex Shanks using his brother, so Shanks won't have to fight for a while, is my guess. It could also be that. Like, it could also be Oda literally using Shanks' brother to basically show us how strong Shanks is without having Shanks on Elbaf. Which, by the way, note how Shanks was conveniently removed from Elbaf just moments before all of this started. What the hell is he doing? Where is he going? I do think there could be... I don't think so. I don't think there's like a situation where there's like a weird situation where Shanks... where there like only is one Shanks, but he has like two faces almost. Because one of the things... Can we talk about... What was his face? Cavendish? In Dressrosa. What the hell? What if? There is no twin Shanks. In case you forgot who Cavendish is, let me open up a browser page. Not Jekyll and Hyde. He's just severely mentally ill. Well, never mind, I guess. But I mean, to be fair, like this whole twin Shanks thing also started as a meme. So maybe? Anyway, let's keep on moving on. Keep on moving on. One Piece will... Oh yeah, this is a funny one. So I just put in quotation marks, One Piece will end in 5 years. I do think there's a decent chance that we're going to hear this once again. I'm pretty confident we're going to hear this once again. It's just going to be like a... We are in the final saga. I hope you readers are enjoying this. I think our journey will end in the next 5 years. Blackbeard, I'm not talking about that. We've already talked about it plenty. Loki is not a bad guy. Parentheses, did not kill Harold. This is a common theory. I think there might be a situation where Loki is not actually evil, but he has just done like weird things. Because like the the throne of Harold, it has a sword mark, not a hammer mark. And Loki clearly has a hammer, right? And in Norse mythology, most of the stories are not really about Loki being explicitly evil. It's more so about him being like weirdly mischievous and causing a bunch of destruction as a result of that. And it's only in Ragnarok that things get like really, really bad. But thus far, like, we are not into Ragnarok just yet, right? So I do think there's a decent chance that Loki currently is not actually going to be outwardly evil. Because I think like Luffy would have otherwise gotten a vibe from him. I think Oda was being very purposeful in having Luffy be the first one to meet him. When has Luffy ever been wrong about a vibe? I guess the painting dude, but that's like the only one. Yeah, Kanjuro's the only one. Outside of Kanjuro, Luffy has never really been wrong about anyone. I guess you could say that he is often wrong in the sense that he teams up with villains, but every single time he teams up with villains, he's like not really, like he's not being a villain. Like he has done things with Buggy, but now we know that Buggy has a bunch of baggage with him and Buggy is not really a villain. So I don't know. I can see, because I do think like at the same time, I do think Loki is also an exception because it's Loki. Like of all the people Luffy would be wrong about, it would be Loki, right? Like if there was ever a time to dupe Luffy, it would be now. I'm gonna go get a bottle of water and in the meantime, you can think about this. Yeah, I think there's like a 50-50 chance, honestly. I have seen like people doing like conspiracy theories about how like potentially, you know, the whole like Shanks was sailing around with the gum fruit, not knowing that it's the Nika fruit. Some people have speculated that there might be actually more to it, and that like there was actually a goal of bringing the devil fruit to a certain someone potentially on Elbaf. And a lot of that, right? Like where there's a legendary devil fruit floating around Elbaf, and then Shanks has another one that's like a weird devil fruit he's carrying around for no reason, seemingly. I don't know. I put like a 50-50% chance. Shanks is a villain. I don't necessarily think he's going to be a villain, but I don't think the stuff we know about him, I don't think it's going to be as pure. Like, I don't think we will ever see him do anything against Luffy. Absolutely not. I think his and Luffy's bond is 100% genuine. But I do think that we might see like the personal politics around him, if you can call them that, purely revolving around Shanks. I do think they're going to be a lot more complicated than we've been led to believe. I don't think he's just a chill dude sailing around the seas. I'll say that. Which sort of should go without saying, considering he has a twin that is clearly one of like the world government's assassins, right? Okay. Moving on. Rocks is not actually bad. I carried this over from last year. The only supporting hypothesis I have about this is, number one, we haven't really heard any horror stories about him, like necessarily. And number two, he came from the East. That's it. That's literally it. Because I'm thinking about, like, even about Kaido, we heard, like, explicit horror stories about the stuff he's done. Whereas with Rocks, like, we know that they teamed up to beat him, but that's about it. So I'm not sure if it's going to be, like, a situation where he has done good, and in the process of doing good, he's also done a lot of bad, or if he's, like, a neutral chaotic character, or he's evil chaotic. I don't know. Because there's also a very decent chance that he is pure bad, but in doing a lot of bad, you could argue that some of it is good. Like, I don't know, like attacking a entire city of like nobles, but freeing slaves in the process. Something like that, you know? Like he's attacking a bunch of people, but he's also freeing a bunch of people. So, could be like a pseudo Blackbeard situation, I guess. Who knows? I think the safest call is that Rocks is just like the Roger era version of Blackbeard, and that he's going to be a villain, but who knows? Moving on. Law wakes up. Law is obviously going to be important. There is too much unresolved with Law. I don't think he will ever be in the running for the One Piece. I don't think he will ever be doing Kaido plans as he was post time skip, but I do think he's going to have personal motivations and personal goals that he wants to reach. On which side is he going to do that? I don't even know where he's at. So wherever he wakes up, probably. But I do think Law will be important. I almost said Shanks. Perhaps Shanks collaborates with the world government as a holding knight, but for an important purpose. He would not necessarily be a villain. And what we see is a new facet of his hidden life. That's what I mean, like if there could potentially be like a weird split with what's his face. Okay, this is not gonna make like no sense. You know how Shanks has such good observation hockey that he can literally peer into the future, right? And you know how he happens to move away from locations a lot of the time just when things are about to go down, or just when Luffy's about to arrive or something like that. And now he has a twin. What if there's a weird situation where he is in some way under the control of Emu, and whenever he peers into the future and sees basically that his twin is going to take over, he sails away? That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I don't think that makes any sense. I think basically what we're going to see with Shanks is more so the case of one was born on the sea, the other was born in royalty. I think that's what Oda is going for, more so than weird telepathy. But to be fair, like, we have literally seen telepathy between the elders. Enough weirdness. Final one. Mad Monk Big Lore. Look, what the hell is going on with the Mad Monk? Surely there has to be more. No, it doesn't, LOL. I don't think it does. If we get to see more of the new characters in the next episodes, and he also needs an arm, what are the chances of him still being a twin? I mean, I'm gonna be real with you. Like, if the twin Shanks is missing an arm, at that point, there's got to be something weird going on. Like, at that point, Oda must be doing something to explain away Shanks losing an arm to the... Because the whole Shanks losing the arm thing to the Sea King, that was just like an editor decision, apparently. I remember we talked about... Someone mentioned it in chat. I have it noted down on, like, Twitter drafts. Someone said that was an idea that I really, really liked. Like, Shanks peered way into the future and got a vibe that, like, Luffy is meant to be important and that's why he lost the arm or something like that. And I really, really like that. It's like a weird prophetic dream of sorts, and that I like as an explanation as to why he took an L from literally a basic Sea King. But if the freaking Shanks twin is missing an arm, like, at that point, like, it's not a twin. That's just Shanks. It is very weird that Oda keeps hiding the side of his face. That is very weird to me. Know what the funniest thing is? It's not over just yet. Law is back. I think I forgot that there's going to be Law wakes up here. I've got a secret level. Let's go in here. We got a secret level. We got a secret level. Okay. We're going through these quick. Yamato and Momo story. I think it would be very cool if we got a story where Yamato and Momo sail around. I think it'd be really cute. I think it'd be really cool. Maybe the rest of their story will also happen in Wano. I don't know, but I think it would be really, really cool. What about Kid? I think Kid is basically cooked. I think Kid is infinitely more cooked than Law. I think if Kid does eventually get up, he's going to get like a mini redemption on Elbaf, and that's it. The reason why he would get a redemption is because he took down Big Mom. So in the Elbaf society, he would actually be respected, even though he tried attacking them, I guess. But he should be respected, like, really. But I've got no idea what Oda wants to do with him. Like, he was so utterly destroyed. It's insane compared to Law. Like, he was destroyed. And I think it would also send a weird message regarding Shanks if he gets off scot-free. Surprise flashback. I don't know what this is. That's why I put it here. I think there is a decent chance sometime mid this year, we just randomly get a flashback to something and it goes on for like 4 months. I have nothing to back this up with. It's just a vibe. It could be Joy Boy. It could be Loki. It could be the Shanks twin. It could be Shanks. It could be Marie Joie. It could be Blackbeard. Who knows? But I do think there's a decent chance that there's just a random flashback. New Emu lore. I do think we're probably going to see more of Emo, though. Oh, I just realized I scrolled down. I do think we're going to see more of Emo. I don't exactly know in what context, but I'm almost certain that there's going to be more stuff with the world government, with Lily, and with all that. I think considering we're about to reach, like, Elbaf, and we are literally at a library right now. So, I do think there's going to be history shenanigans. The One Piece 2025 bingo. Let's do likelihood ratings in literally 40 seconds. Dragon has no bounty, 100%. Loki has the Nika fruit. I'm gonna put it as red, but if it comes true, believe me, you will never hear the end of it. Dofi Impel Down, I'm gonna put as yellow because I don't think we might necessarily learn of it, but I do think it will happen in some capacity. Joy Boy Eye Patch, I'm gonna put as orange. Shanks Twin Marked by Flame, I'm gonna put it as almost green because I do think it makes so much sense that I almost feel like it has to be true. Ragnarok, put it on green. Mihawk Zunisha Connection, I'm gonna put it on red. If it's true, you will never hear the end of it. VV Reunion, I'm gonna put it on yellow because there is a decent chance that it's a small reunion that's not really a reunion. Law Wakes Up 100%. Rocks is not actually bad red. I don't think we're gonna hear much of Rocks. New Hockey, I'm just gonna put it on red. Actually, I'm gonna put it on yellow because, as I said, it's a double meaning, and I do think we're gonna see someone use Hockey. Usopp Hero of Elbaf, green. 1,000,000% he's gonna be Hero of Elbaf. This is his arc. Mad Monk Big Lore, put it on red. I think Oda forgot. I think Oda forgot. No, Ancient Weapon Used. I'm gonna put it on. I'll put it on red. Not red, green, because it's Ragnarok. Dragon on Elbaf, gonna put it on red. Shanks Fight, gonna put it on yellow. New Hockey is 100%. Okay, I'll put it on green. If you say so, put it on green. Loki is not a bad guy. I'm gonna put it on yellow because I think it's gonna be only half true. I think what he does will eventually cause problems for us, but I don't think he killed Harold, and I don't necessarily think he is currently a bad guy. Mjolnir, 100%. Yggdrasil is used for the Sunny upgrade. I'm gonna put it on yellow. Not sure what that would look like, but Yggdrasil will obviously be important. Moria returns, gonna put it on orange currently because Moria has already fled. So I don't know what's gonna go on with Moria. Operation Marie Joie, I'm gonna put it on green because it's max cope. Max cope. Why else would Blackbeard steal the form? Doesn't make any sense. Blackbeard third fruit, at this point I'm gonna put it on red. I'm gonna put it on red just so it happens this year. Otherwise, I'm gonna keep putting it on green, and it's never gonna happen. One Piece will end in 5 years, 100%. Emu Soul Transfer Power, gonna put it on yellow. But if it happens, you will never hear the end of it. And all of these... Oh, Nami Weather Bridge is 100%. And all of these, they are so vague that I'm not even going to put any points on them. They are too vague. Obviously, the biggest ones here are all the ones I talked about extensively, about never shutting up about. If Loki has a Nika fruit, oh my god. Oh my god.